Powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome, everybody, to Choey and Jandler's The Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Choey.
Welcome, Jandler.
And welcome to The Boss Man.
There we go.
How's it going, guys?
There we go, right here.
There we go.
There we go. Dude, what do you think about the weather? I laugh, man. People are like, it's cold in the morning, then it's hot in the afternoon. People are like bundled up. We couldn't have
It's
outdoors
cool, except for the
recess this
fact that
morning.
it tells me I'm supposed to be freezing out here, so I'm going to wrap the pipes like some sort of psychopath out there wrapping my pipes, and it doesn't even freeze out here where we're at.
Did I tell you when I first lived in Illinois? My first winter up there, I was like, hey, do I gotta let the faucets drip or whatever? And they looked at me like I was crazy. They're like, why? And I was like, because it's gonna get cold, right? I don't want like pipes to freeze or whatever. And they're like, our pipes are underground, they don't freeze. Like that's why they're in the dirt. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, because the reason for that though is the only reason I know this because my dad explained to me one time when I asked and I shouldn't have, is because since they deal with it more often,
Yeah.
they build their houses and stuff differently. So that's like they got all their stuff is buried far enough to where it's not messy. Whereas down here, it would be less cost effective, I guess.
Yeah, I also took it as like maybe our dirt it's harder to like get through, you know? Like harder to like tumble down or whatever. So like, just deal with it. But all right, almost hit the wrong one. Let's roll on real quick to the holidays.
Here are today's effing holidays.
This is December 13th. Another Friday the 13th there. What do y'all think, dudes? It's gonna be a scary one?
Friday the 13th this time?
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th in 2 days.
I didn't even think about that.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be cold.
Krampus.
December 13th is National Cocoa Day. So join us in describing why cocoa is so well loved worldwide and why all things chocolate excite us. You know, I feel weird, man. I'm not a warm drink kind of person, so I don't drink cocoa. You know, I like it cold. I don't like anything hot.
You don't like hot cocoa though?
Nah, man. I just like I said, I'll drink cold chocolate milk, but I don't like hot cocoa. I feel like it burns my tongue or something.
You gotta have like some good hot cocoa though, man. Like the hot cocoa with the marshmallows and the what's it, the whipped cream. But then they sell this thing at the grocery store called Sweet Tooth topping or something like that. It's like cinnamon and sugar. I mean, that's probably why I got a couple pounds of me right there. It's like I'll have hot cocoa like in summertime when it's like 100 degrees at 9 o'clock at night because I'm just like, you know what? It's not hurting anything. I'm already fat.
Yeah, you're like put the needle in my arm. Let's just put it in that way. Let's go quick.
I'm not that fat, dude.
It's also it's U.S. National Guard birthday, so shout out to some military vets. Take time to honor those who have protected our country for centuries. And National Ice Cream Day. So I guess I know what I got to do on Friday, huh?
I'm all for that.
You're like, well, it's the holiday. I guess we got to do it, right? You twisted my arm.
Well, you got me.
Like, it's just Friday. You're like, shh. It's December 13th, everybody. All day, every day. Where am I looking at? All right. Now moving on to the...
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
By the way, boss man, you got any input, you just chime in. Man, we don't really care.
Oh yeah, well I was just gonna add to that hot chocolate thing. Well I like hot chocolate, but I can't do cold coffee. So on the opposite side, like I don't know. I guess you not liking hot chocolate is like me not liking cold coffee.
Probably, but I also don't like coffee. I'm weird. I'm the kind of guy that like I like orange juice, but I don't like oranges. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
me. And like I don't know, I'm just weird. That's all I can say. Hey, so I was thinking about this. Two things here. First off, we got some kind of like fundraiser thing going on for the holidays at the school. But remember, it kind of reminds me when I was in school, and I'm sure it had to be similar to you because obviously I wasn't here in elementary with you. But remember you guys at elementary schools and they have like those little gift shop things, and you could like buy presents for family members.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
like 1,000 times more expensive now.
Yeah, well, we have something at our school. It's called the Penguin Patch, and like so, I took the kids on Monday, and then if they bring money, I can send them again or whatever. But like I went down there and they got some stuff there that's like 25 cents, And then stuff, I think the most expensive was like close to 20. I felt bad. He's like, I have to like help kind of be like a cashier for the kids. So, like I got $20 and they're holding all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, you can't get all this. It's not gonna add up. But it reminded me of school. And then it also was like, we should have been like, hey, can Choey and Jandler sell something here at the Penguin Patch? Free marketing, right? Stickers.
Both of us, that's what I do. But it pops up that way.
Choey's ignoring me.
I'm not ignoring you. Why you gotta call me out? Like, you know what? Like, I'm just not gonna put my face on the camera, and that way I don't have to worry about you.
Oh,
plugging in
I
all week.
learned my lesson, right?
No, the boss man kind of fumbled something over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I was like, dead air, silence, whatever. But
No, I apologize. There was a boss man over here just dropping the ball.
That's cool. That's cool. Clearly, Choey did take his face off the camera now. Also, hey, I'm gonna ask both y'all's opinion here, right? You tell me if I was a jerk on this or not. A kid was closing one of those expo markers and I guess the lid kind of pinched up on their finger, and they're like, "Can I get a nurse pass?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna see the nurse for that. You can get a little band-aid if you want." But I was like, I felt kind of bad, but at the same time, like, I got a little reputation, to kind of look out for. I can't be sending kids to the nurse for like weak stuff, because then they start worrying about me.
I don't even see how you pinch your finger in the marker like that. Like that takes some almost. You should have sent him though, just on the fact that he did it is like a skill. Like, congratulations for doing something that nobody's probably ever done before.
Remember, I told you I had that kid. I forget. Well, last year I had a kid get a pencil stuck in his cheek, which was a first. And there was something happened this year, and I forget what it was. But the nurse was like, "I was the first teacher with kids that have ever done that, and I did it twice." And I was like, "Yeah, it's insane." But
it's like a bingo thing. You should have a bingo. Like whoever blacks out the card first wins like free band-aids for a year.
Should be like in the Guinness World Book. Like this has never happened before.
Teacher's edition.
Did you come up with Did you come up with a name for my favorite student yet though? Like, 'cause I know we were kicking some back and forth.
I was sticking with Barista.
But she's got to have a full name.
Oh, well, what did you want to call her again?
The thing I came up with, I think it was Barista von Heichenstein.
All right, yeah, von Heichenstein. So I didn't remember. I didn't know if it was von Heichenstein or von Hilkenstein at first. I was like, what?
So like the thing behind that whole story is I've talked a couple of times on a few episodes about my rational feelings. It's not a fear
of things
about sharks, but like I just don't go in the ocean. I really don't go in the ocean. I try not to go too far into a lake, either because I don't get bit by like a snake in the lake or something like that. But
yeah,
in the ocean, like I get the stat. You get stung by a bee. Like people die more from bee stings in a year than they do from shark attacks. I get the stat. But my thing, and I always kind of hype on this, the fact that that's because they get stung by a bee and they're like allergic and they die. Like I don't know if anybody's ever allergic to a shark bite, but like you get bit, like you bleed out or like you have a stump or something like that, right? If you make it. And so he's got this kid that, like the original thing was like she said something about you don't go in because bears will eat you, right?
Yeah, she's like, I don't go camping. There's bears in the woods.
And so he was like, I think I found your long lost daughter. And so I haven't sent him. I was at Hobby Lobby the other day, and I sent him a picture because I found that, and I was like, this is like a perfect sign for this girl because it says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you.
Bears will kill you."
And so I was like, my daughter's gonna have a name though. She can't just be Barista. So I was like, I'm still okay. So we're workshopping last names.
Yeah, we were. I showed it to her today, and she kind of just looked at it. I was like, "What do you think?" Maybe she was scared to read it.
She's like, Mr. Bing, I don't know why you're showing me your phone.
One of the things that I've listened to, I've listened to y'all before, and the thing of the school environment and everything, it's kind of similar to the whole environment that I was given the nickname of Boss Man. Being from the correctional side, prisons. Okay. So it's kind of similar, pencils being, stabbing in the eye, kind of thing. It's all the same. And when you said
I feel like for you though, that area is probably more intentional, right?
Yeah, I guess they say they didn't do it. They say it wasn't their fault, so it might not be, innocent until proven guilty.
I think
But
I told Choey before. I had a couple years ago. I had one kid. He got mad at another kid, and he had a pencil in his hand, and he like waved it around, right? The other kid went home and told his mom, someone still tried to stab me. And then so she obviously was irate, and I had to talk to her on the phone. And I was like, ma'am, I was there the whole time. He didn't try and stab your son. He tried to poke your son. Well, he didn't even try to poke. He motioned like he was going to poke him. But I'm like, that's the difference between words. Words have, depending on what word choice you use, man, it makes a difference. But yeah, she was like freaking out. And I was like, no, he wasn't going to get stabbed, man. Ma'am, I was right there. But
oh yeah, it's kind of the same. Believe it or not, we get what we call mama calls to the facility all the time. With inmates having the right to call out to their parents and stuff, they'll call and be like, this officer boss man is messing with my son. And it's like, oh wow, we're in the school system now.
what you got to
So
do
yeah.
with that? Like, every time parents or kids say something, and parents will talk to me about what I feel is like, how do you not know that that's your kid's making that up, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll kind of be like, why would they do that? And I'm like, well, they're not going to get in trouble with you if they tell you this story. Whereas if they tell you the truth, then you might get mad at them. I was like, why do you think they would say it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of similarities from the correctional institution and the schools. It's funny, but yeah, I volunteered one time at uh elementary one time, and it was like almost the same system set up for the for eating lunch and stuff. You
Oh,
know,
really?
oh, it's definitely, it was funny. It was like a lot of similarities, and I don't mean it in a bad way to anything against kids. They're gonna go that route or anything. Not like that, but just like the way it's set up, the dining facility, and time to go. Everything's on a schedule, so it's kind of funny that everything runs the same.
The
Take
life
that
is,
back to
right?
campus and tell them like we run our school like a prison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny, but yeah,
Tell your kids instead of recess, yard time. Let's go.
yeah. Rec.
Exactly,
That's
right?
what we call it. Going to rec. Recreate.
Once you move this rock from one side to the other, keep going.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe I always I always feel bad because we're not allowed to take recess away, but sometimes kids deserve to get some kind of consequence. So I talk to them for a little bit, and I'm like, well, I didn't take your recess away, I didn't sit you out, but we're gonna chat. Excuse me, about your behavior. I'll tell you, man. There's always something that happens.
Well,
Today,
well,
what like now that it, well, for us, it's still, I guess, kind of fallish because it's not like super cold here in South Texas, but there's leaves everywhere now, right? And I don't know what was going on, like how one teacher didn't catch it before me and another teacher got over there, but there were like three kids were doing snow angels and leaves, right? They're just like laying down doing like leaf angels, and I'm just like, what are you doing? So we had to go over there and like shoo them up, and then there's leaves all down their shirt and stuff.
You gotta tell them to watch out because especially when leaves start falling, that's like prime cat like restroom area, man. Like cats love to just go in the leaves.
You know what I thought you were gonna say, Choey, is like it's not like they picked it up and just scratched their friend's face with it. Like, look, it's not poison ivy.
Dude,
Check.
that's an old story.
It is an old story, but it still happened.
I feel like I've got to justify that now.
Nah, justify. I don't know how you can justify. Go and tell your story, but you still are in the
I mean,
wrong.
I'm like, do we have enough time on the episode? So here's the thing: in high school, we went to high school together, and our biology 2 teacher, it was a stupid project too, because like he never even did anything with it. Like at the beginning of the year, he took the whole class outside. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna assign you guys different sections," because where we went to high school was nice, and so like, there were trees and like like underbrush or whatever you would call like, and so we go outside, and our thing was we're supposed to draw out like at the beginning of the year, draw it out, and then like where it was at, like they would only mow up to a certain spot, so like wherever he put you, you could see like the foliage as it grew throughout the year. You're supposed to kind of like take us out. He said like what every month, something like that.
Sounds about right.
And we're supposed to sketch it out, like the changes, and so that we can notice the changes in like the leaves and the trees and whatnot. Well, we realized that me, Jandler, and our other friend were not like part of his favorite class because he puts us like 1, 2, 3, and then it's probably like 40, 50 yards is the next group of like the rest of everybody else. So like they're all over that way, and it was good. Not, I mean, I guess rightfully so because we would always goof off in class. But so one day we're out there, and I was like, "Hey, look at this!" And I picked up I don't know what. I mean, I'm a junior in high school, so it's not like I'm thinking of a whole lot of their stuff besides a few things, you know. So I pulled the leaf off, and I'm like, "Hey, it feels rough," and I'm like, I rubbed it against my face, and I was like, "Hey, it feels like rough. Like you could almost like shave with it." And he makes a comment of like, "That was like what you said something like that was stupid. Like why would you
I was
rub that?"
like, it's not very bright of you or something like that. I was like, quit being an idiot, you know.
And so I just reached over and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, and just scratch him across the face too. Like if I got poison ivy, you got it too. And it wasn't poison ivy. It itched,
Well,
but I think it's
after the fact. By the way, I remember what word I said because you used to say monkey spank all the time. I used to call everybody dumb A all the time.
yeah.
I was look dumb A. Don't
but,
do that.
but yeah, it was it was not the smartest thing. I thought you were gonna bring up the leaf thing, like the WWE. Well, it was at that time it was WWF.
I thought there was I thought it was the same as two different stories. But yeah,
because they
yeah. I
one day
just
they
remember since you brought up like not even the leaf story because we can always talk about that later. But me, you, and our other friend were there, and we look over, and he's talking to the rest of the class, and us three are just sitting here because he didn't come over to us, and we're like, "Do you think we need to go over there and
yeah
pay
he
attention?
didn't even call us in like
Do
he
you think
called
he
us
wants
and he's
us
like
over
talking to
there?"
him about some stuff, and then we're like, hey, like maybe it's, and so we just kind of wandered back up and we're like, hey, and he's like, oh, nice
We're
that
in
y'all
this
joined
class
us.
too. But
He
I
didn't.
mean, to be fair, we did a whole lot of stupid stuff, so we clearly weren't trying to learn, ish. You know, it just
Still
happened.
got a B, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and honestly, every time I think about it, I mean, I was bored a lot in that class. But when we did those Punnett square things, like with the inherited traits,
Yeah.
dude, I remember I was like a rocket science that I picked that up super fast, and
Yeah.
I was explaining to people in the class that were like, we were always goofing around there, and they were kind of like, "How do you know this?" And I'm like, "It just makes sense. Like it just clicks."
I remember like the first test we were supposed to have, me and him were like they had wooden doorstops,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like playing soccer with it. Right? Was that the
Yeah.
day? We were like
Uh-huh.
kicking it back and forth, like playing soccer, because like we had like a 4 block day, so it was like you did 4 classes in one day for the next day. It would start over, and so we had first period and then like an advisory, like 15, 20 minute block in between that and the second period. And that second period was our biology class. And so we're there hanging out and we're just kicking the thing back and forth and it's making noise. And kids are like, one girl like flips out and she's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, this is one of the most important tests in like of the year. What's wrong with you? And you're playing soccer. And she's like yelling at us, going crazy. And we're like, sorry. And the second time, like a few weeks later, when we had the next test, she's like, what game are we playing today, guys? Because she was like, you know what? I'm done with the class too. Like, we're like, sweet.
It sounds like a Betty. I would probably name her Betty. I don't know why. It sounds like, oh, Betty, stop it. It's all right. You're going to be all right.
Like, she went off on us to the point where it's like, I don't know about you. Like, I think you kind of reacted the same way, Jandler. Like, it was like, okay, like, why are you freaking out? Like, it's not that big a deal.
Probably, but I mean, she got really cool with us later. You know,
Yeah.
it was just, and she was a year older than us too, so we clearly didn't look like we were mature. You know, we weren't acting like it. Hey, last quick story here before the break. So obviously it's colder weather, right?
Yeah.
So kids bring. Luckily, I like it when kids bring cold weather gear. You don't just show up with shorts and t-shirt when it's like 40 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Wet hair, because then I gotta worry about them getting sick. This kid had a beanie hat today. Playboy insignia on it. I'm like, dude, you can't wear that here. And he's like, no, my dad said I have to wear it. And so I took it and I was trying to turn it inside out. Like, and the thing was kind of like, what do you call it? Sewn to where like you can't flip it inside out.
So you
Like-
flip
like
it, it's
you can't
basically
flip
like
it
the
down.
rabbit, but backwards.
Yeah. So I had like I was just like, I actually held on to the hat till the end of the day. Luckily it warmed up, but I was like,
Just be like,
no
Father of
offense.
the year.
I mean, well, both of you. I'm not talking trash to Boss Man or you, Joey, but it's like I get parents, I get you guys got a lot of stuff going on, but there's certain things I think you should be aware of. You know, like a few years ago, some kid wore a Corona hat to school. How does nobody catch that? You know, you can't walk in there with a beer hat.
Dude, and I know we got to roll the break, so I'll make it quick. But there was a dad that was like all tatted up at one of the campuses I worked at before,
Yeah,
and his whole head was tatted. So like basically, like instead of like hair, like he shaved his head, but it was like hair of tattoos, and his
yeah.
sideburns were the Playboy bunny. And I was just like, I don't like. How do you? Anytime that dad's kid got in trouble, I'm like, I mean, I kind of have to understand where the kid's coming from.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say like it was like I won't say nerve wracking, but you're like I don't know how to have a conversation with like, hey, you kind of gotta wear a hat or something when you come to school. Cover those
Well,
things
no, it
up.
was the dad, so it was like one
Yeah.
of those like. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like
I was
talking
just
to
glad he
dad.
was showing up.
Quick story. Quick story. It'd be fast. Like about the tattoos. I don't know. It's kind of going sidetrack from what you originally said, but
We always
so yeah, at the prison they had this thing where correction officers, we as far as for us grooming standards and stuff, we couldn't have any tattoos showing. So if you had anything below the sleeve, you had to sleeve it up, or if you had like a neck tattoo or anything like that, you had to cover it up or whatever, right? And there's a few of them, but so then some of the guys got kind of challenged the process and everything. They're like, okay, so what about those female correction officers with tattooed eyebrows? They're gonna have to wear band-aids on their eyes. So it's funny. I don't know.
Man,
It's true. Permanent cosmetics.
Yeah, it's a tattoo, So, but anyways, I don't know. That was funny. Like tattoos on eyebrows.
well,
As long as they're normal. Like be crazy, like they tattoo it and then have the bar in there. Anyways.
Yeah, because they didn't specify whether it was cosmetic or not. They just said tattoos. So, and they didn't even say anything like if it was vulgar or anything. They just said if you have any visible tattoos, they have to be covered. So it was like, oh wow. So
it's discrimination.
Yeah.
Are the standards still the same like that?
Actually, I'm not sure about tattoos, but I know like as soon as I left, you were able to grow a beard, and you were able to grow your hair long.
Because I know like everything is kind of relaxed, at least for teaching wise. You know, like I mean, I don't cover my sleeve at all now. You know, and
No, yeah, no, it's kind of it's relaxed a lot, and it's yeah, it has because some of my friends, they growing their hair out and not shaving anymore and stuff like that. So, I mean,
safe hazard. Like I wouldn't want it because that's something somebody could grab.
That's
yeah.
and that's actually the first thought I had too. Is like I don't want long hair. Kids might get or whoever might get upset at me and just like was it Troy? Wasn't Troy Polamalu? There was a soccer player a couple years ago that yanked down by his hair.
Oy.
Yeah, they just pulled him down. But all right, we're gonna roll that break real quick and get the new song and the ad.
Oh.
We take those gun cheers, mate, and cheers, mate again. Or simply cheers. Sometimes it's all santy, other times it's cheers. And you effing knows it. We also say sorry, salute, what's the game? Skull in Russia we cheer, Nazareth, and now in Vietnam we can say yo. Let's have Choey and Jandler cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Different languages, same sense of raising our glasses to friendship and joy. Cheers, cheers, cheers around the world.
I like you're doing the like you're at a concert there, right?
I feel like that's the ambiance. Is more like I should be like at a Mumford and Sons concert, chilling in the back with like my. Because I guess that's the thing. I haven't been to a concert in forever, but they used to do like the lighters, and now they do like the phones or whatever. Or at least I've seen on TV.
You're like, yeah, that's what I've been told. That's what I've read on the interweb, right?
On the internets.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I can't. I got 3 kids. I can't afford to go to a concert. I'm for just willy nilly.
Surprised you haven't gone to like a Teletubby concert, man.
They're not weird children. They're just children that I have.
Hi there. I'm here to help Choey and Jandler to read an advertisement for buyblacket.com. Please shop buyblacket.com. Are you looking for unique gifts at unbeatable prices? Then look no further. BuyBlacket.com has quality merchandise for everyone on your list, from gifts for cat and dog lovers to American fans, beer enthusiasts, and even Jesus lovers. As for teachers, we didn't forget about you. Please don't miss our funny attire to brighten up your classroom. So bring a smile to your loved ones' faces and shop BuyBlacket.com today. Tell them Choey and Jandler sent you.
Choey, what'd you think of that text I sent you? I considered us getting paid since we got that $3.19 credit after I sent that second short to him.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, money's money. Money gets spent the same way. It's just what all you can buy with money. Because we got a $3 commission so far on our.
Nice.
No, actually, no, sir. We did not get a $3 commission. We got like a $3 like extra voucher thing. Here, let me log in. We, sir, have made $57.96.
Oh, I thought it was a $3 commission was all that was. That's why I was like, well, like the journey of 1,000 steps.
That's what. But remember, okay, I think you're talking about in total. Now you're right, yeah. But they're like in total, we made almost $60 for those people. Or from
Sweet.
BuyBlacket.com. And then technically we got like did sell one video gen. I don't know anybody that uses AI like me. You know what that? Because they're the other people.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there.
That's going to be the ending that I'll show you and Boss Man, although you've seen it. All right, so you got your what's chopping?
I do, and I went.
Hold on,
even up till today.
Let me get you a little lead in, but you're ready to rev your engines?
Oh yeah.
All right.
So even up till today, man, I wasn't 100% sure, but I was chilling at home, kind of streaming some TV a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Like, and it just fell in my lap, and I was like, perfect. So it irritates me now because the thing now seems to be with TV shows, like they have the fall finale. Like, remember when we were kids, like the show started and it just ran like September to May, and that was it. Yeah. Like, and so, like, you know, they would have, like, you know, your break, obviously, like, around Thanksgiving time and around Christmas, they would have, like, an episode or two, and so they run a rerun. But, like, now, it's like, you have the fall finale, and they don't come back to, like, February. And I'm like, I almost want to be like, are y'all getting paid the same amount of money? Because you make me wait forever. And then on top of that, like, we got a couple different streaming services going. And, it's like, Netflix, I love Netflix. Maybe they'll hit us up now after I say this. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to be on the bandwagon.
So like Choey said it.
But like Netflix, like they drop their stuff. So like you got your Stranger Things, right? They dropped the whole season. Boom.
So I need to watch Stranger Things. I've been wanting to.
It's pretty trippy, man. Like,
yeah. I
don't want to sound like a sissy, but there's some episodes where I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I got the missus in the bed with me. Because maybe if the guy comes for me, I can push her. Not sacrifice her, but like push her while I like kind of come too. So maybe like it kind of throws off his thing.
Do you and Mrs. Tribbiani have the deal in place like Nate Bargatze and his wife?
100% like Nate Bargatze. Like she don't know the deal's there.
Yeah.
She's
gonna lunge at him. She may feel like she's pushed, but you know, tomato.
Well, I practice the knife skills and stuff. Yeah. But
or nunchucks.
Yeah, something to where like I'm like, hey, go for that, and you'll distract him enough to where I can get him, and hopefully you make it, and I'll make it too. But like Netflix drops like a whole season, whereas like all these other streaming services are almost like TV now. Like they drop like one episode a week, and it's like the appeal of streaming services is that I can pay for you for a month and watch like your whole show, and if I want to cancel you until it comes back, we're good. But now it's like you got to wait until the season's done to kind of pay that streaming service fee, and it's like, dude, like. Why you gotta be stingy with your stuff?
I think you just answered your own question though.
Well, I realize the marketing thing, but I'm like, if I'm gonna be crazy like that, I could eventually win. But it's like, well, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be all crazy?
Not to be the anti-Choey, because I actually like that we have the winter, fall, and summer, like the end of the season, like they do it like half and half. Because instead of doing 23, 24 episodes for one season, maybe they'll do like 16 total, like 8 and 8 or something. and like the less shows you do, the better content. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to stretch out all these ideas to fit 23 or 24 episodes. You're like, we can condense it and maybe pick the best, the best ideas. So actually, you
So
think about it, sucks. Like I watched a lot of like British comedies, and they're good. A lot of them that I watched were good, and they only last like 3-4 seasons, and they only have like 6-8 episodes. And you're like, what the heck? Can you imagine how many shows have started out with a great first season? Like, didn't you and I know I was in the Navy, but didn't we used to watch Men Behaving Badly? Didn't we both? I watched it with somebody. I can't remember if it was you, but it was somebody.
you were
And that
cheating
show
on
was
me?
awesome. Yeah, I was cheating on you. That was Summer Choey. But
Done.
Men Behaving Badly was awesome, but it only lasted a season. But it's like 24 episodes, so.
But the thing is this though, man. Like, and so I'm not gonna hang up on you even though I want to, because I don't want to disagree and be like that kind of a disagree guy. But the thing is this: if you got TV out there, and granted, like I'm all about like trying to like fill my life with quality stuff as I get older, like be more purposeful with my life and do more certain things. But at the same time, like if I'm gonna sit down and kind of watch TV, I want to watch some TV and like watch TV for me, movies for me. Is like I think we discussed it last time. It's just kind of one of those like it's I don't want to. It's there to. I'm not big on the intellectual stuff. Like every once in a while, I like to watch like the Da Vinci Code and be like, oh, what's gonna happen? But the Da Vinci Code's cool, and I can't watch the Da Vinci Code again because it's like, well, I already know the answer to the thing. Like when I ruined it for you last week with the Sixth Sense.
You didn't really ruin it. I knew Sixth Sense. It was Unbreakable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ruin Unbreakable because I didn't tell you about it. But like the Sixth Sense kind of thing, like I ruined it for somebody. Like once you know that he's dead the whole time, it's like, oh, okay, we'll do. Okay, I got it. I just watched like a TV show just to kind of tune out for like an hour. Give me 15,000 of those episodes, I'll be doing it. And when you're stingy with the episodes, I'm like, you know what? They need to cut their salary. Like we just cut their salary. I'm done with you.
Hey, boss man, does Choey sound like the kind of guy that would yell at someone? Why do you have a personal library? You've already read the book once.
Yeah.
Why even buy it? Come on now. It didn't change.
I'm siding with you on this one.
I'm all about like the public library. You go get the book. Like books are different a little bit though. Like, and that's the thing is like you can read a book, and it takes more than an hour to read it. Well, I would hope it takes more than an hour to read a book because you're reading the wrong kind of book if you want to like stimulate your mind. But when I don't want to stimulate my mind, that's the whole reason why I tell you like I don't like prequels.
No, it's just funny. Like I told you though, but I love it. But every time you come up with something new or whatever, I was like, man, you do sound like old man Simpson, you know? You're like,
Oi!
yeah, like, turn down that rocket. Have you done that to your kids yet? Turn down the music. It's too loud.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I have done the knock on the door. You've been in the shower long enough. Get on out of there. I know what you're doing.
I forget.
It's a random. There's a random guy coming on. Ha ha.
Well, I forget if I know I've asked you and I forget what you said. If like you're kind of like your dad or our dad's growing up, turn the lights off. You're wasting electricity. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Close
I've
the
actually
door.
done
You're letting the AC
times.
out. You stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna leave the lights on. Nobody's even in the hallway right now, so I'm not sure where we're doing this. Instead of just telling them too, like I have to be like some sort of like sarcastic, like indirect, like stupid comment on my own.
You know what I just thought would be awesome? I think you would love it if you had like an intercom system that would go to like all your rooms, in your house, and you just push a button. I think you would like play with that so much, like wake your kids up or whatever. I think you'd love it, man. That should be your next thing.
Funny that you say that because I kind of already have that. It's not the whole house, but I bought like this little security camera that's like on a little swivel and has a speaker, so I can actually like, as long as the internet's up, I can pop on my phone from anywhere I'm at, and I can turn the camera and look at him and start talking. And so sometimes they're like, what? And they're like looking around. I'm like, yeah, I see you.
Do you slow swivel it like Red Warp? Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
I actually just got this new one. because recently, but before that, it was just like a still one that just sat on the mantle.
Yeah.
But this one actually swivels, so I haven't played with it as much. But I don't know if it moves slow. That'd be kind of a fun one. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about too. When you were like when you stuck the pencil up his nose.
I was talking about the shark one, but yeah, the pencil up his nose was
No, okay, I forgot about that.
apparently this is just it's high school Remembrance Day or whatever. But
Is that the
yeah,
national holiday?
but yeah, we just made it up again. We need another $5,000 to buy that one. But boss man, so we had this friend of ours that what would you? I felt like he'd go like in a trance a lot of times. He just kind of zone out, and you would be talking to him or waving your hand, and he'd like wouldn't respond. So one day, the diligent students that Choey and I were in the back of science class, and I took a pencil, and I got the whole tip
The
of
whole
that
silver
pencil,
part was gone.
like up his nose, and he didn't even flinch. And like while I'm doing it, I know Choey's looking at me, but there were like three or four other people just looking at us, or looking at me as I'm doing it, and he didn't respond once. And I was just like, "That's amazing." Good thing I didn't kill him.
Yeah, it was crazy because he was just like, and he was just staring at the teacher while the teacher's and the teacher's lecture. Like this is why the teacher didn't like us. The
Yeah.
teacher's lecturing the whole time, and we're just in the back. And here's Jandler just doing this, and our friend is just like as if he was like in a trance, like he said. And so he's doing that, and I'm watching it, and the other dude that's in our row is watching it, and the other like half the class is watching him do that while the teacher's up there teaching.
Yeah.
That's the third time we mentioned pencils today.
Hey man, pencils is a big deal as in school.
Yeah.
What can I say? We like our wood, right?
That's why you buy Saratoga pencils.
Exactly.
Number two.
Hey, yeah, number two. If you want to feel a nice cold deuce in your hand, get a Saratoga pencil.
I don't even think I can't recall another time that I had anything other than a number two. So I was like, what else is there? Like what number? Is it a 3, 5, 4, 3? What?
I've looked it up. Number one is like it's like a softer lead, and I forget there's like artists or we call not engineers, but like architects I think might use it. I could be wrong. But there is this I know number one is like a softer lead, but hey, dude, not dude. Boss man, this is for you if it's gonna play, because Choey has seen this.
A drunk retelling
I want to edit this.
of Boxing
I want to
Day.
add something to it.
Okay, so like Boxing Day, yeah? It's not about like punching people or fighting over flat screen TVs, even though it totally sounds like it. No, it's fancy British history stuff. You know how they love their weird traditions. Anyway, listen up. Back in the olden days when people wore like frilly collars and tights, real classy times, there were these super rich people living in castles and manors and whatnot. They had servants, lots of them, running around like headless chickens during Christmas. These servants? Oh, they didn't get Christmas off. Nope, they were busy cooking giant feasts, polishing silverware and probably dressing their bosses in like 10 layers of velvet or whatever. So then, the day after Christmas, the rich people were like, oh, thank you for slaving away during our holiday. Here's a box of leftovers and maybe some coins. Ta-da! That's why it's called Boxing Day. Because of the boxes, not punches. Wild, right? But wait, there's more. It's also like this big charity thing. The church would collect money in these, like, little boxes. Imagine a piggy bank, but fancier, and they'd break them open on December 26th to give to the poor. So Boxing Day was also like the OG GoFundMe. Now, fast forward to today, and it's mostly about shopping, like crazy shopping. You thought Black Friday was nuts? In some places, Boxing Day is basically Thunderdome with people fighting over half-priced TVs and toasters. Or maybe it's just Canadians, because they seem super chill every other day of the year, but even they lose it for a sale. Oh, and sports, like soccer. I mean, football if you want to be fancy. They play a lot of games on Boxing Day for some reason, probably because they're all still buzzed from the Christmas wine. So, to recap, it's a day where rich people gave poor people stuff, churches got generous, and now it's about sales and soccer. Basically, humanity in a nutshell. Cheers to Boxing Day.
This inebriated history was, like, made possible with VideoGen.
You know what's
I'm
crazy
st-
though is I know we kind of like offhand make jokes that we teach people stuff, but
Yeah.
straight up that when you sent me that the other day,
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that's what I've always just been like, why do they call it Boxing Day? Like maybe it's some sort of boxing weird stupid
Same.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I actually learned something the other day for real.
Dude, I'm gonna start making more of those. Like just I won't say random, but like just stuff that I don't think like might be kind of funny. You know, like I'm not gonna do it now. I'll do it next year for Thanksgiving. But I was looking it up, and it's funny how the AI does some of the illustrations because
Yeah.
they had one dude with like antlers coming out of his head, and I'm just like, what? You know. Speaking of illustrations, where was it at here, dude? Oh, here. So this
I thought that
you see
was
this?
kind of accurate.
Yeah, this is So do you see right here? I said create two male characters, both white guys. One character is bald with a black chin strap beard. The other character has short brown hair and glasses. This is pretty cool. We look like we're younger here, but that's not a chin strap beard there, Choey.
No,
Here's
you look
another
more like
one.
Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is too in that last picture.
Here I feel like we're a little bit older, but you definitely look like someone not to mess with. Here, I don't know, like kids or something. At least I am. This one was the crazy one. I was like, you're supposed to have a beard, Choey. You look like some
Chin
Russian
strap.
guy.
It's like they divided the mustache and the beard.
Look
And
at the
I
two
look like a
animals in the front
leprechaun.
of his shirt.
Yeah.
What are they?
I never even noticed that one. It's like a weird, like the antlers aren't even on the thing. Like
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could show you. Like did you show him the Lego book?
no,
Let me find that. Gotta give me a second here.
you wanna we in the episode and then we can keep showing all this stuff though.
Yeah,
So because
that's true. That's true.
I think the content will be a little bit weird for the last people. Last 5 minutes.
I can't see it.
See that picture? What about this picture too?
All right, you want to do the social media plug, sir?
Oh yes, and by the way, the missus was telling me, she was like, "Hey, do I even like?" She was like, she said she was going to follow us on all the social media. And I was like, "You don't have to worry about Instagram and Facebook, right? Or the Instagram right now." So.
Just yeah, we'll get it fixed over the holiday, man.
So make sure to check us out on social media. We are at Choey and Jan, at CHOEY, the letter NJAN. We are on Facebook, X, TikTok, and then we will let you guys know what we are going to be on Threads and Instagram.
We might add the Z or the 2 or something. Real quick plug before we pull it. Does the wife need us to do ads for her?
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
That pattern
Yeah.
is full.
Hey, I got something too. A little bit of
Hey.
advice for the girl that doesn't like to go camping because of the bears. It kind of goes off of I thought about it whenever he was talking about Stranger Things and coming in the bedroom and then he pushes the missus or whatever, right? Well, just tell that kid, hey, when you go camping, bear comes in. You don't have to be the fastest. You just have to be faster than the other person, and that's it.
That's
Just go camping with the slow runner. That's it, and you're
I thought he was
safe.
gonna say like just pour honey in their sleeping bag.
Yeah, and then the other thing, number 2, pencils in prison. Well, I worked in the education department, and for a little bit, about a year or so. Anyways, those pencils are about maybe like probably about 2 or 3 inches long. They don't get the big,
long
yeah,
ones?
yeah. There's no eraser either, so you make mistakes. It's like going to prison. You make a mistake, you can't erase it. But
That's like a metaphor. It's like a metaphor.
But those pencils are like 2 or 3 inches, so that they won't be poking each other's eyes out or whatever. But yeah, and they're
like
number 2.
like the mini golf pencils, right?
Yeah. Yes. That's what it is right there. Yeah, they don't give out the big pencils. Yeah.
Do you even sharpen them? Or they're like dull as can be, and they're like, keep grinding away with it, kids.
Yeah.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, just pull out a shank.